Last one, I swear to freaking God. I just have some yams hanging in my kitchen. Hi everybody, my name is Toni and welcome back to On the Menu. Today, Yuriko and I will be exploring the age-long debate of box versus scratch, cookie edition. So keep watching to follow along our process in the home kitchen and see if there's even an answer to this question in the first place. See you there. So how did you make your cookies?
Well, it was actually really simple. So all I did was go to the store and buy a tub of 5 pounds of cookie dough, and then I let it defrost for about like 10 to 12 minutes on the counter, and then I just scooped out the cookie dough and placed it on a cookie sheet. And it was really simple because after 10 or 12 minutes in the oven, I let it cool, and it was so easy and fast to enjoy. Because there was so much like waiting time when it came to like letting it thaw and like letting the cookies cook, I had time to actually just read or like do my homework.
That's so nice. Yeah, I'm maybe a little bit behind on my homework, but we won't talk about that. And you said the tub was like 5 pounds, right? What else are you planning on making anything else with that?
Well, I mean, first of all, it'll last you for like 6 months if all cookies are what you want. You know, it also is really good if you want to maybe like elevate your cookie style. So if you want to make those giant cookies or like cookie crust, it really is versatile for a lot of things.
That's so awesome. Thank you so much for sharing.
No problem. So can you walk me through your cookie process?
Of course. So my cookie process, I made from scratch. I followed the New York Times buckwheat chocolate chip cookie recipe, but I don't really like it, so I changed it. And that's one of the good things about scratch, right? You can do whatever you want, and I like that because I don't like following rules. So I was like, you know what? I want to put more chocolate in, I want to put more buckwheat, take out the sugar, and I'm able to do that because everything is under your control. So basically, like most cookie recipes, you start by mixing sugar and eggs and all your flour and dry ingredients. Then you mix it together, do like a little mixy mix, add some chocolate. Yeah, just like you, I scooped it out, formed it into balls, stuck it on a thing, let it chill, stuck it in the oven, and I was ready to eat it. It did take me a while, just because there's like chilling time, but I like to think that it leads to a better tasting dough, so I don't mind at all waiting a little longer.
That sounds delicious. So were you able to have any leftover cookie dough for after you bake that batch?
So one batch makes about 12 to 18 cookies depending on how much you scoop out. I actually decided this time to split in half, so I decided to freeze half of the dough and bake off half of the dough. So if you decide to do it like that, you have some extra that you can use at another point, maybe like, you know, next week when I'm feeling particularly snacky. So nowhere near 5 pounds, but enough to satisfy a craving for like one afternoon.
One of the downsides to baking from store-bought cookie dough too is, like you were saying, you kind of get a lack of control. Although I have to admit that just using store-bought cookie dough and not worrying about like, wait, did I add 4 cups of flour or did I add 5 cups of flour? That stress I'm okay with being without. But I do admit that there is this kind of loss of meditation and just being like soothed by making it from scratch.
Yeah, so that's one of the things I like the most about baking, is that it is very much like a science. Like, you measure stuff out, you mix it together, and you come up with a final product. And there's good and bad to that, right? You do need to follow a recipe in order to make something similar to the desired outcome. But again, like I mentioned, when you have everything broken down into its ingredients, you are able to more directly control what goes into it. Homemade cookies taste great, and store-bought cookies usually taste pretty good, but sometimes they like sneak some other stuff in there. I just like knowing exactly what is going into my mixing bowl. You know, gotta show that with the hands. Mixing bowl, and that is one way to do it.
Well, I've thoroughly enjoyed this process, and you know, one of these days I would love if we could have a cookie exchange. That would be so fun.
Of course, yeah, I would love to exchange cookies. I have one right here. Ooh, I'll throw it at you through the screen.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I like cookies because they're super, super easy to, you know, bake off and then give to your friends, whether you do it from store-bought batter or homemade batter. They're just a really convenient, delicious treat.
I couldn't agree more. It was so nice working with you, Toni, and thank you everyone for tuning in.